and gentlemen, welcome to the fourth Midnight Launch podcast. I am joined by Jack,
Hey.
Tim,
Hey.
Jesse,
Hi.
and it's Michael. We are absent one Robert Paulson because he is dead. Oh wait, no, wrong Robert. So we had a couple cool topics tonight to discuss, gentlemen. But before we get to those, I want to ask you, what have you been playing this week?
Ooh. Alright. Wow, alright, I took Spotlight first, so I'll go ahead.
Yeah, you just kind of jumped right on that.
Alright, recently I've been putting so much time logged into the Kerbal Space Program, which you're going to see a video of that this Monday, or
Awesome.
Tuesday. Yeah, it's incredibly infuriating, but God, is it rewarding. It's one of those patience meets rewards kind of games, and recently I've been putting a lot of hours into it because I've been trying to do like small things, and it's just ridiculous what you have to do, but the reward and the payoff for it is ungodly. So
All right,
I've been,
so
yeah.
you're really going for those. You put it in, you get it out, and it feels worth all the while.
Yeah. Sex? What?
So that's pretty much it. You know, off and on.
I've been playing that mostly. I've also been slowly working on Forza Horizon and Dragon's Dogma, but
Ooh.
those have been going on for like a month.
Wait, what
now.
the hell is Dragon's Dog?
Dragon's
Yeah,
Dogma
that's
was
what
an
I meant.
RPG that Capcom released. It was sort of like it was more of an it was sort of like Capcom trying to make an American role playing game. You know, more dragons and elves and you know, witches instead of, you know,
I do remember this.
you know, fantasy, like Japanese fantasy. And from what I remember, it did it pretty well. You know, it wasn't perfect, but it was a pretty good game. You know, I wanted to play it. So, you know, Jesse, when you get the chance, you know, we could probably talk about it sometime sooner rather than later. All right?
I'd hope so, because I have a lot to talk about it, so
Cool.
yeah.
All right, Jack, why don't you say what you've been playing this week?
I have been playing the shit out of Mass Effect 3 again. I took like a 6-month hiatus from that game because I just played it to death when I got it like 3 months late. I just didn't get the game because I just didn't have any. I think I was broke, but I just didn't get it. So I got it late, and then I played the crap out of it for a while. Then I got sick of it, mostly because I was playing with guys who were really, really into it, and I just wanted to mess around. But
That multiplayer mode, you can.
yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I played the multiplayer mode solid for about 3 or 4 months.
yeah, that's what I did. It was like when
Oh
this
my
last
God.
summer, I played it for like a month and a half straight, and then I
It
just
was
got
so
burned
good.
out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Put it down, didn't pick it back up until about a week ago, and I remember how much fun it was. So that's mostly what I've been doing. I also picked up Dirt 2 the other day for $5 on Xbox Live.
Yeah, that huge sale's been going on recently.
Yeah. I was really tempted to get Borderlands 2 right before we started this recording.
And actually, about that thing, that sales are going, is that the theory is that Microsoft is using it as a basis to test, you know, a very sort of Steam-esque system where, you know, it's going to be focused a lot more on downloading the games and having big sales, which for in a lot of cases means that Xbox could have a pretty good standing in the next console generation. So
I'd really be okay with that. There are plenty of games I'd love to just be able to get a digital copy of. Now, especially now that they're getting cheaper, like Dead Island for $10, I can deal with that.
yeah.
They should be paying you to play Dead Island, I promise.
Still, I'm a sucker for zombies, man.
Oh yeah,
If
hell
I can
yeah,
beat
dude.
it to death with a cricket bat, that's my kind of game.
Man, we're both drummers. We both ate pizza tonight. And we're all both suckers for zombies, dude. I need to like find out if we were separated at birth or something.
It's
Are we
almost
the
like you
same
guys are
person?
from the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost like we met through the internet, man.
Holy fucking shit, dude! All right, Tim, what have you been throwing your thumbs at this week?
I haven't been playing much, but I have been playing Sleeping Dogs.
Ooh.
That game is absolutely amazing and completely underrated in every way because I never hear anyone talking about it.
Really? I thought, well, at least because I spend a lot of time watching YouTube channels, and that Square Enix in general, when they haven't been making Final Fantasy, have been making all the greatest decisions. They've been making really good PC versions of games. They've been giving it a lot to reviewers because they know that they have good games coming out, so that they just give it to them and they really play it. And I think, well, personally for me, Sleeping Dogs was a game I was very much so aware of, and I didn't play it because, you know, I had Saints Row 3, so, you know, I had my own sort of over-the-top open world experience, but I definitely want to play it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Sleeping Dogs is essentially True Crime Hong Kong.
It is True Crime. It was originally True Crime Hong Kong, and then
Oh shit, really?
Oh
was-
yeah, I remember that. I remember
it
when
was-
it was
Well,
announced.
there you go.
it was
So,
bought. Hmm.
But yeah, it has a really great established story and an excellent combat system. Like, fighting is actually fun, and I find that you rarely have that in a game. But
You mean
yeah,
like the hand-to-hand combat?
yeah.
Okay.
I heard it was relatable to the Batman games.
Hand to hand, yeah, kinda. You could say that.
I made my comment.
Yes.
Good to know, man.
All right, so I want to push us forward to Assassin's Creed.
Hey,
Black
hey,
Flag.
hey, Slut Bucket. I have talked about what I've been playing this week.
You're right, but now that you've called me a slut bucket, I don't care that much.
I don't give a fuck. I'm the host of this bitch.
You're not the host of shit.
I am the host. My title is the host.
Yeah, you're kind
He's
of
right.
the host. Go
He's
ahead.
right.
All right, so
Day
I've been
one.
playing. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed 2, kind of coincidentally because Assassin's Creed 4 was announced this week, which we'll be talking about soon. But man, I've been really enjoying it. You know, and the thing is, I played it again this week because my first time I played through it, when I got to the last section, there are two guys that spawn in order for you to be able to pull a switch to continue on in the very last bit, and those two dudes didn't spawn. So I basically had to start the entire game over, and I was like, well, I'm not touching it for about a year, so I picked it back up, last week, and now I'm like sequence 10, so...
I've been there though. I know what you mean. When a game fucks you over like that, you're like, well, I'm not gonna play this for. Let's give it like a good 8 months.
Yeah.
Actually, Thomas was alone was doing that for me when I first played through it. There was I don't know if you got that far, Tim, but it was the level with the water and the water that rises up, and
Nope.
I hit one of the buttons and the water never rose, and I was like, oh, okay, I can't go up.
Ooh.
Okay, so I kind of was stuck on the bottom floor, and I was like, well, I'm done.
Wow.
Eventually,
that's-
I went back though, but yeah, it was just
Man,
like,
that
wow.
sucks. That really does.
Yeah.
And I've also been playing my good standby Awesomenauts on computer. They actually just released a new character this week, and it's pretty crazy. It's this there's a YouTube person I watch a lot called Jesse Cox, and he created this this religion that's about following the space butterfly, and they added into the game because he promoted it so much, and he actually likes it. They created Genji the Pollen Prophet, which is a foreseer of the Great Space Butterfly. And it's really cool. It has this ability that encases somebody in a cocoon and it immobilizes them. Which in a game like Awesomenauts, which is like League of Legends, that's devastating. When you immobilize someone, that's really powerful, but the person doesn't take damage. So it's this really cool sort of balance where you have to attack them and then get everyone gets ready to just jump on them. So that's
Wait.
really interesting. And then
Speaking of making religions, something I bet you guys don't know about me. I am an ordained Dudist priest.
What?
I have the
Dude.
certificate and everything.
Oh, did you go to that Reddit thing where you could get
Yeah.
like?
Yes, I did.
You
I have the
actually went
letter
through it?
of good intent from my state. I can marry people under the religion of dudism. And one day I'm hoping
man.
someone will actually let me.
Well, you'll be second on my list next to Gus Sorolla.
Thanks.
So yeah, and he also has this blessing of the space butterfly, which is like a little buff that makes people like invulnerable to damage and stuff. And then the cool thing with his main attack is there's this thing called the storm drum that when it hits something, it leaves this cloud of like thunder that people stand in and take. It's a big dot at the last. It's 6 damage per second or something, which can tick down health really fast. So because it's a new character, people have been fighting back and forth with this thing. So it's just like dodging. It's like dodging storm clouds, being cocooned. It's really fun right now. So if you
Wait.
have not played Awesomenauts, it's like $10, and it goes on sale a
Oh.
lot. So
I heard Scribble Knots, and I'm like, what the
Oh.
fuck? And I'm sitting here trying to imagine
no,
this all. I
Scribblenauts,
just can't.
Awesomenauts. Yeah, it's that.
I
It's
do
that
want to play that game though.
Yeah,
I wanted to
Scribblenauts
play
seems kind of
Scribblenauts.
fun. It's Awesomenauts is that game I told you about I got for $2, and I put 72 hours into it right now. So
Yeah.
I really like it. All right, so we talked about what we've been playing this week, and so probably one of the biggest bits of news that came out was that Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was officially confirmed to be coming out later this year on all current gen platforms and next gen platforms. At the end of the trailer, actually, a little slide, it says also coming on next generation consoles, and it has PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox Live, and PC, and I think Wii U, but it doesn't show it. There wasn't like sort of a leak of Xbox 720. It didn't like hint at it. So I was like, no, I wanted
If
to
the
see
next
it.
Xbox is called the Xbox 720, I will abandon all hope for Microsoft.
Yes, I
They
will.
just
I
need
will.
to
would be
call it
kinda
the
sad.
Xbox Infinity.
I think that was like one of the more likely leaked ones that came out when Destiny was in the news. Was that Xbox Infinity or something was on the list?
That's a hell of a lot better than 720. I'll take it.
I would definitely take that. So, what do you guys think about it? I mean, with Black Flag, it's a piratey theme. It's been confirmed that you're playing as the father of the guy who is the father of your character in Assassin's Creed. So Connor
Haytham.
Kenway's grandfather. So yeah,
Well,
thank you,
here-
Haytham.
At least describe the events of the trailer, so that way we're not leaving anyone who hasn't seen it out. Like, because
Well,
that's what we watched, and that's what we
We
saw.
watched the trailer, but there has been news released, which is basically that you're playing as the grandfather of Connor, and it's a lot more piratey themed. So, before we get to the trailer, because that's sort of its own separate topic where we're going to lead into it, it's called Linking the Topics. We're talking about Assassin's Creed 4 with a trailer that leads into the talking about trailers. Wink. Just wanted you to know. So, sorry. So what do you think about what was in the trailer? I'm tripping over my own shit. So what do you think about this news?
Fucking pirates.
There
Of
you go.
course.
Like, what else do we need?
All right, end of discussion. Let's move on.
I mean, but
Seriously though, pirates are like actually the coolest thing ever. Come on.
I don't know.
And now
I'm
we
just
can
When was the last
play
time we had a
but
really good pirate game?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, I mean, we have
Sid Meier's Pirates, maybe.
also known as Sid Meier's.
Ah,
The better pronunciation of his name. I hope he adapts to it.
Years.
I beg to differ, but go on.
Oh, come on, Myers.
It sounds like that. Oh wait, it is that. Is that what, the supermarket or whatever it is? Myers, Mejers.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm going to assume that it's a
in-
local supermarket.
It's in Illinois somewhere. I've seen them around. They're around.
Oh, okay.
Meijers. That was it.
All right, well, whatever. Mears is better. But yeah, we haven't had a really great pirate game in a really long time, and I was kind of hoping for one by Rockstar, but this is like the next best thing.
And the thing is
That
that
would've
with
been cool.
with Assassin's Creed 3 at least, the ship combat was described to be probably one of the better parts of the game, if not the best part of the game. So this really seems to be, a logical next step for, Ubisoft to take it in. And thanks, Jesse.
Not a problem.
And when and so I guess I'm gonna tickle the trailer's fanny when I say this, but it was shown that you're gonna be going onto different little islands and finding stuff, probably going to be searching up buried treasure and doing all sorts of piratey sort of stuff. So with any luck, this ends up being the Assassin's Creed game that pirates could definitely iconicize.
Oh god,
And-
I don't know.
Did
if
you
I
just
wanna do
relate
that.
internet pirates to like 17th century pirates?
No, I did not.
Oh, 'cause that's what it sounded.
I think
I was
maybe
making
it
the,
did. I don't know.
I was making the correlation between zombies. Like, is Pirates going to be the new zombies, where everyone's making a zombies game? Now they're going to all be making a Pirates
Oh
game
god,
kind of thing.
fuck that.
Well, the thing is that with a zombie game, you're typically restrained with they're zombies. You have to have a very specific setting of you're just stuck with zombies being in the area. With pirates, you have you could do. Are you a captain of a ship? Well, you're probably gonna be a captain of the ship, but you could do a lot of stuff. You could do strategy. There aren't really that many zombie strategy games that really take strategy to its fullest. You don't really have full simulations of zombies, not
hey
yet
man,
at least.
Plants vs Zombies.
There you go.
All the way.
Yeah, Plants
That's
vs.
a
Zombies.
pretty
yes,
good
that's
strategy
it.
zombie game. But
Well-
I'm just saying, with what pirates represent, you have a lot more of an open area, and then again you have Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean, which combines pirates and zombies. So
That would be
I mean,
sweet.
all they need is ninjas,
with
and
the good-
you're fucking got it made.
With
You
the
They
know?
pirate
need
game, you
dinosaurs
could-
in there too. Are we high? We need dinosaurs in there.
We also need dragons.
and dragons
And aliens.
Yes.
The aliens can stay wherever they
This
are.
is like the ultimate showdown.
I've never
got
thought
turned
the
into a
aliens were
video
that
game.
cool.
We also need space.
Please don't do it.
Wasn't that a game? Space Pirates and Zombies?
Yes.
With
that
dragons.
a
and
game?
aliens.
Yes.
It's always on sale. Always on sale on Steam.
I'm buying it
Whenever I see it.
today. Right
You
now.
better buy it right now.
I
You
am.
might
buying
want
it
to check
right
out some
now.
gameplay of it first. You never know what it's like.
Who cares?
I don't need to know what the game is actually about. I know what it's called.
I'm judging the book by the cover, and I'm gonna go buy
Space,
it.
pirates, and zombie. Oh, it's $10. What?
So the thing is that the general reaction is, okay, this is a really cool step, but people also want to see. I think a big thing that people want to see is an Asian style Assassin's Creed. With being a ninja or a samurai. And people are like, well, they wasted an opportunity doing this one, but from the way it seems, there's been an Assassin's Creed game every single year since 2007.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Asian ninja or samurai Assassin's Creed sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
that's
understand that
movie-
logic. Do they think that this is like the end-all be-all of Assassin's Creed? Like they can't open new frontiers later?
I mean, for the most part, the gameplay pretty much mimics the fact that you are trying to be a ninja. I am just waiting for the moment where it happens. I think, honestly, what they're probably waiting on is to get the next-gen consoles out, maybe get some higher processing power and all that, so that way they can.
The thing
fully
is that
use
they
their ninja
announced
capabilities.
is that Black Flag is also going to be on next generation consoles. It's at the end of the trailer.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like it also has to be on the 360 and the PS3. They're probably waiting till everyone's already over, then they can just unleash everything, and it's all there, and it's gonna be sweet as hell when they put ninjas out.
I think that
Ubisoft,
you're way
while we're
too
talking
excited
about
and you're
this-
going to be let down.
Ubisoft definitely has the power to do that, though.
You guys ever?
Go
you
ahead,
Ever seen the
go ahead,
movie
Jack.
Ip Man?
What?
Ip Man. It's on Netflix. It's a Chinese movie about a guy who's a martial arts master.
Oh yeah, the guy who trained Bruce Lee. Jet Li,
yeah.
one
yeah,
of
it's
them.
about him. There's a scene in the movie where he's all pissed off because the military occupiers of his hometown just shot one of his friends, and so there's in a fighting competition. He says, "I want to fight 10 men," and there's a scene where he takes on these 10 Imperial Japanese soldiers, and he just destroys them, and he's snapping bones. It's the most brutal thing I've ever seen, and I want that to be the fighting style in an Asian Assassin's Creed game. Like, as soon as I saw that scene, after I was done crapping myself, I thought that'd make a great Assassin's Creed game, because he's just taking them on with no... It's not even a challenge for him.
The thing is
The
that
same way anything is not a challenge for Ezio.
the thing is, does it have to be Assassin's Creed, or could that just be an Asian fighting game?
It would
Or
work
fighting
as an
game, or
Assassin's
brawler.
Creed game. Like, the way he's fighting them... We can probably... There's a video on YouTube of that scene. We can probably link to it. But if you watch that little scene, it's very fluid. It's the way... It lends itself very well to the way that, say, Ezio might take on 10 Roman guards.
Mm-hmm.
It works in a lot of the same way, where he just never stops moving for a second. And he's just constantly just brutalizing these poor guys. I've just been thinking about it every once in a while. I thought, that'd be cool. And then I just forget about it for another 3 months. And then 3 months later, I'm like, that'd be cool. So,
All right. Well, that's definitely definitely a crazy idea. That's for sure. All right.
I pride myself on that.
It's good to know you have confidence. All right. So
So essentially, the conclusion is we're all excited for the next Assassin's Creed game. Not 4, but 5.
Yeah.
Man, fuck you guys. I can't wait for 4.
it seems pretty good, and that segues very nicely into talking about the trailer that was released for the game.
Was it
I'd rather have a
released
pirates
or
game than a
unreleased?
ninjas game, because pirates are inevitably cooler than ninjas.
I
Man,
think
if we had
ninjas are
viewers,
cooler.
you'd be getting so much shit for that.
What? No, pirates are totally cooler than ninjas. I don't care.
No, ninjas are cooler than pirates.
Ninjas are better
Why
than
are
pirates,
ninjas
dude.
cooler than pirates?
Because ninjas actually have finesse behind what they do. They're like
What? Fuck you.
they-
Pirates have finesse.
Bullshit.
They have style. They don't have finesse.
Yeah, I
They
feel
have
like
the
having,
same
rickets
finesse
and
that like
scurvy
the
kinda takes away
drunken
from the
monkey
finesse.
brawlers in every Asian fighting game have.
Well, those guys aren't ninjas.
They might as well be.
Those are
Deadliest
Asian-
Warrior even did
Did
this.
you-
Pirates totally beat the ninjas.
No, they never
ninjas
did.
beat pirates.
They
What do
did.
you
They
mean
did
they never
pirates
did?
versus knights. So they had ninjas versus Spartans.
No, dude, they did Pirates vs. Ninjas.
No, they never did that in the show.
We have the internet
I'm
right here.
checking. Because I've
Please.
definitely seen this episode.
Go ahead and check.
Wait, is it Deadliest Warrior that you're talking about?
He's talking about
Yeah.
Deadliest Warrior. Okay,
Yeah,
so
fuck that show, dude. That's not scientific at all. Fuck them.
it's
I
historically
have it
researched.
right here. Shut up.
Okay, so with the trailer,
No, you're not getting around this. I'm
oh, for
looking
fuck's
at it
sake,
right
I want
now.
to move this on. God damn it!
No, because you're wrong. I'm looking at the Pirate vs. Ninja episode right now. It's season 2,
Bullshit.
episode 8.
All
There was
right.
no Pirate
Problem
vs. Ninja
solved.
episode.
Kills Pirate 510, kills Ninja 490.
Send me the link.
That sounds like math to me.
Send me the
Yes,
fucking
math
link.
does have numbers. All I'm saying is that those guys aren't scientific in the least. They have no methodology at all in what they do.
Listen, pirates have guns.
And ninjas have shurikens. What's your point?
What the hell is that? Do you honestly think that a ninja can throw a shuriken as far as someone can shoot a gun?
Flintlock, yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No!
Yes.
The Civil Wars were fought from, like, hundreds of yards away.
And how many of them actually hit? With accuracy?
More than would have hit if they were ninjas.
Bullshit.
Man, you guys are going crazy.
All
All
I
right,
have
so
to say
let's
is that ninjas
get
are
on to
better.
let's get on to what's actually at hand with the Black Flag trailer. So I'm going to assume that people would go ahead and actually watch the Godforsaken trailer. So, you know,
Real quick, was that Blackbeard in the trailer, right?
yes, he
Yeah.
was. As
Was
as
that-
I can tell because he had a beard and it was black.
as
And he
as
also was wearing the same hat that the guy in the Pirates version did. Pirates movie?
I can only
Are you
assume.
referring to Pirates of the Caribbean?
I am.
Okay. Well,
What the hell other
yeah.
pirate movie is there?
There are lots
recently?
of pirate movies. Like the VeggieTales one that just came out. Holla at the VeggieTales.
I'm glad you keep up on that, Tim. I am.
VeggieTales are awesome.
I can agree with that. Thank you very much. Fist bump on that, my
They
friend.
taught me everything about religion as a child.
And then I promptly learned to ignore it very quickly.
Yeah, pretty much.
So in the trailer we saw that you're going to be dealing with, at some point apparently, Blackbeard. And, you know, as Assassin's Creed tends to do, you end up diddling with, you know, famous historical figures, Assassin's Creed,
God,
Ezio's
what have I
story.
been missing in Assassin's Creed?
What?
If you, I was making a diddling joke.
Thank you. Thank you for catching it. So, with you know Assassin's Creed, you know, at least Ezio's story, we saw you know, Leonardo da Vinci, and with and with, you know, all of Assassin's Creed 3, you know, God knows every single person in the entire American frickin' Revolution. So with you know, famous pirates, you have a lot of people to work with there, so it's gonna be kind of cool to see how they react with that. Because as a North Carolinian, I'm gonna proudly say that Blackbeard was killed off the coast of North Carolina. Ah. But you know, maybe you'll propagate that. We don't know if how because they tend to mix in, you know, whether they're an assassin or a Templar into the story, and
I cannot
Yeah,
imagine
everyone on
Blackbeard
Earth
as a
is-
Templar.
it's it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, which famous pirates are assassins, which famous pirates are Templars, you know, and
No,
you know,
I don't imagine that at all. Pirates have like no sense of like honor or any of that. I have always imagined the Templars are some high class, posh, like real rich people kind of group. Like I can't imagine.
there
pirates in
are
that group.
some pirates who were you know, they were pirates in terms of their actions, but they were gentlemen in all other regards and very high class people.
Okay.
So
Okay, yeah.
at least
That's
from what I remember from like second grade history.
fair enough, I guess.
So-
I mean,
Also known
You
as
learned, you
fake
learned
history.
about pirates in second grade history?
I learned
I
about
learned
pirates.
about how Christopher Columbus had a peaceful dinner with the Native Americans.
Yeah, I learned that
Yeah,
too.
sure. I remember doing a project on pirates at
And
some
there
point
was
in
no
in
rape
elementary
at
school.
all.
Let's keep it nice and light, gentlemen. Ho, 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 ho. So with that, we saw in the trailer that Blackbeard was telling this huge group of pirates about this new captain Kenway or Henway, whatever his name is, and we saw what I think is something that a lot of trailers, if they're going to do a cinematic trailer, they should probably go into this direction. We saw something that was very indicative of what gameplay could be. We saw your character swing onto the deck of the ship and shoot people down and stab people up and do stuff that Assassin's Creed has been doing really well for the past 5 years or so. And, this seems to be reflected by a bunch of other parts. You saw, we're probably going to spend more time underwater swimming around. We're probably going to spend a lot of time on the seas blowing the shit out of other pirate ships. We're probably going to go to islands and find treasure. We're going to go to pirate towns and have pirate sex with pirate wenches and all that sort of stuff. So
You can say pirate hookers. It's okay. No one's going to be offended because no one is any longer a pirate hooker.
I beg to differ.
Like a hook hand and a peg leg. Like a little parrot hooker on the
Classiest
shoulder.
of all the hookers in the area.
I wonder, lass, how does it feel when you take it off?
Alright, this got weird. I do want to mention,
I got
for
replaceable
those of
parts,
you
if
who
you
aren't
know what I
completely
mean.
up to date on Reddit, a lot of people have been complaining about how the new assassin has like all these guns just kind of everywhere on his person. Pirates
have a lot of
did
guns.
that because they didn't want to have to reload, so they just kind of like toss them and
It's
just
just
have
all
it like in
guns
the
everywhere.
Matrix. They're like, we don't have to do this. We have a literally infinite amount of weapons. We'll just drop them and pick up new ones.
Yep.
And it was essentially that.
But you saw the hidden blade. You're still going to be doing hidden blade stuff. That's shown in the trailer. You see a guy walking along the street with a girl, and you just stab the dude and keep walking with the girl, and very much so in Assassin's Creed-esque style.
Oh,
That
she
girl
didn't actually
was
give a
totally
shit.
not phased at all
Yeah,
by
I know,
the death
right?
of
Like-
the person that she was with.
Well,
She's just
You have to consider.
She's alive in that time period. She's seen everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess
Dudes
that's
being thrown
true.
out of windows, laying on their heads, cracking their skulls open.
Yeah,
Same
pretty
old,
much.
same old. All right, so
Actually, one thing I wanna point out real quick is that I like trailers a lot. So it's the kind of thing that I think about. Is that the Assassin's Creed series has been really good with its trailers in how close it is to their gameplay, even though they are cinematic.
Mhm.
Like the first one didn't really show anything that you couldn't actually do in the game. The first one just had sneaking through a crowd and stabbing a dude in the throat and running away. And the second one had, him dropping from a building and shooting a guy with the hidden gun. And now this one, if this one's following suit, this game's gonna be badass. If you can swing from the ropes and jump on an enemy ship and shoot 12 guys, then that's gonna be amazing. If their trailers have shown anything in the past, then maybe it'll be pretty close.
very true.
That would be
Very,
pretty
very
sweet.
true.
Yeah, that's almost
So-
kind of a segue into trailers and how much truth they tell.
And that's sort of a big thing is that you always have to be careful when you look at a trailer because people will watch a trailer and lose their fucking minds.
I'm kind of doing it right now.
For what?
Black Flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a few minutes before this started.
well,
Yeah, I'm pretty terrified that I'm going to be really disappointed.
it is a AAA game, and for the most part, those usually should be following closely behind what they revealed that they could do. So
But
You're so naive, Jesse.
I know,
But-
they
but
have
in
the
case-
money for it. Why
but in
wouldn't they
case
put
in
the money
point,
for it?
you always have to point out, at what point is it just a cinematic trailer to introduce the environment, or is it a cinematic trailer to be, close to gameplay? I can think about Mass Effect 2 had a lot of pretty good trailers that were cinematic, but they still showed what was more or less gameplay. But then you think about how many people lost their minds because of Dead Island. But the second I saw the
Yeah.
trailer, it's like, okay, congratulations, they're using a sad song to tell a sad story.
That is a
I
fantastic
practically
trailer, though.
cried at that trailer.
I
That
could
is a
care less that
fantastic
bitch
trailer.
got bit. I could care less.
You are a sick person.
I am a sick person because you know what? I'm sorry. It's a tragic thing. That's not indicative of gameplay. That's not gonna be like what the game.
It doesn't matter. It's a
No,
teaser.
I don't give a shit if it's indicative of gameplay. It was just a really well done trailer.
It's not even an actual trailer, like a gameplay trailer. It's a teaser. Its single purpose is to hype people up.
But the problem
It
is,
does
like
what
the,
it's
uh,
supposed to.
that
but-
big trailer for the first Dragon Age game, where there's everybody
Remember
in there
Dragon
just
Age 2?
destroying everybody. I don't know. They're just destroying this big dragon, and there's orcs everywhere. They're climbing up a mountain, and all this action. None of that shit happened. You know, it was just something to get people excited for. It worked.
I just
for me, at least.
find that in general, if people fall too much for a trailer, then we have a case like Dead Island, or even more so to a better extreme, Aliens: Colonial Marines.
Thank you. I was actually waiting for that to be said.
I kind of was too.
So like I said, I think Mass Effect 2 had a pretty good trailer where it showed Thane and Grunt and Shepard running through a field and shooting down dudes, and people were like levitating about and being hit by Incinerate and all that sort of stuff. And granted it was really gussied up, and it, of course it looked better and everything, but it definitely was a very accented representation of what gameplay was eventually going to be. So, where should our hype needle lie when it comes to what we've been shown as a trailer?
I know where my hype needle lies. Now, Assassin's Creed actually is probably going to be the closest to realistic that I'm going to get when I'm going to talk about this. Now, whenever I'm watching like a trailer for a game and it gets to the cinematic parts where it's going to me, whenever a trailer hits cinematic, that usually means I'm about to show you something that you won't be able to do in game, or we haven't created it yet. But it's whenever it gets to like the action scenes and you see like multiple characters like doing these crazy ass moves. Now in the Assassin's Creed, for the most part, it's kind of good about that, where it'll show you these crazy ass moves in the cinematics, and you can almost do that. Like whenever I'm standing there in a group of people, like in the trailers, usually I watch the Assassin's Creed 3 one when he's like surrounded by all the riflemen and stuff, but. For the most part, he's taken down 2 or 3 of them at a time, and the way the gameplay plays out, it plays out more or less where you're hitting one at a time, then you go on to the next guy, then the next guy, then the next guy. He's just sitting there going 2, 3 at a time, and I mean, that's the closest you're going to get, but that's where my hype needle lies, because I'm immediately thinking, alright, you've reached the point where I'm not going to believe this can be possible in the game. You're now trying to create something that I can't believe, but it looks really, really cool. So I don't know what to actually think of it at the time, because I enjoy watching it, but I can't believe a single thing of it. So I don't know what exactly I want to put my mind to whenever I'm watching a trailer like that, and it actually almost confuses me more about the game than it actually helps.
Of course, there's always, not always, I always say that. I guess I'm saying always all the time. But there's going to be a game someday that has a trailer like that where you think, this can't happen. And then it does, and it's gonna blow your frickin' mind. You know, like,
yeah.
Maybe I'm just super optimistic. But
well, no, actually,
happen.
I think what you're talking about is true. It's just gonna have to be heavily scripted. Like all these things are gonna have to be done at like a hitting a button, and it's gonna be quick time events. So that's the entire point of it. Like that's how I imagine it's gonna go down whenever you do something that crazy. Like when Far Cry 3, I guess, had this more so. Like whenever you see a guy, or whenever you see your main character drop down, stab 2 guys in the head, and then just move on, like that would be cinematic right there. But you can do it. It's just really heavily scripted. Like you don't do anything other than hit that button. So I think that it can be done if it requires skill. Like it could be cool if it required enough skill to do it. But I don't want to sit there and be like, quick time, because that's not skill. So I think you are right, though. We can get to that point.
Very true. Like,
does.
Like, I saw the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer. And holy fuck. That was the first trailer in a long time I saw. It's like, okay, I'm getting this game. Fuck anything, I'm getting this game. Probably one of the first times that happened to me with BioShock Infinite, because that was really close to gameplay, and then really cool. And then with the first Gears of War trailer, after I was so excited for the game in the first place.
Is that the one with the sad piano song in it?
Yep, Mad World by Gary Jules.
Amazing trailer.
I love that song. There's actually a really crazy remix of it that I'll probably link to you after we're done. But I know that what that trailer showed was a bunch of slow motion stuff with that cyborg sitting there being hit by bullets, the bullets shattering. And when I look at what the game's based on, which is a game I think called Cyberpunk 2020, one of the things that they're talking about is the point of the game is to go out and reclaim crazy cyborgs. And that lady that we saw in the trailer, who's basically naked, is sitting there with those blades out, a cyborg. And then we see the guy who has the gun pointed to her head, but it's not really a gun, it's just something that makes her less crazy as a cyborg. And then we see at the end of the trailer, she pulls down that mask, and we see it's her. And so the point is, you're going these recollection squads to get more cyborgs and so on and so forth to build your own squad. At least that's what I pretty much remember. Also,
So it's like Blade Runner in reverse.
sort of, kind of, yeah. I mean, a lot of cyberpunk sort of derives from Blade Runner. You
Sure,
know.
yeah.
Well, see,
and
I want to say something about the game first, right quick. I watched Spoonie, and from what I learned from him, it was based off of a role playing system that he had, or
Yeah.
that he has played a lot. And,
Cyberpunk 2020.
yeah, so I just want to make that comment. Like, that's a role playing system, like Dungeons and Dragons with the paper, dice, and everything like that. It's not an actual game.
Is Cyberpuck would be the best future hockey game ever.
I know, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Cyberpunk 2020. Is that the one with it's like in the future and the girl
Well,
kind
no
of like
shit, it's
makes this guy
Cyberpunk.
fuck you. And the girl kind of like goes like free runs up this building and then like hacks into the
No,
sky.
that's
because that's the only
Forget
trailer
Me?
that I've ever really seen where it was like, holy shit, I have to play this.
that's
right
I think that's a game called Remember Me. It's coming out pretty soon, actually.
Oh,
Is
like,
it?
Yep.
Middle of this year, yeah.
Because I haven't seen anything about that game since that trailer was released, and I am so excited for that.
And the thing is, that looked like gameplay.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
It did look like gameplay.
Choo choo.
We are talking about the same game here, right? The
No,
guy,
we're not.
She like makes the guy kill himself.
No,
What do you mean?
we're not. I'm talking about a game called Cyberpunk.
I'm not relating
20...
it to Cyberpunk. I mean, me and you right now are talking about the same game.
Cyberpunk,
Yes.
the
Like, this
fantasy
is
RPG.
Remember Me.
Yeah,
Yes.
you guys are talking about Remember Me.
But just want to get this out real quick. The song in the Cyberpunk trailer is called "Bullets" by Archive. You should go listen to it. It's a sick song. And that's another thing I want to talk about is song choice in a trailer. If you're going to license a song, it's got to be damn good.
Songs are the entire point of the trailer. I'm sorry, you can have all the action you want.
Ooh.
It's the music that does it.
I
I'm
don't think that
disagreeing
Assassin's Creed
with
4
that.
even had a single song in the whole trailer.
I think it was just badass talking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still that's narration, I guess. So you could substitute it for narration then, alright. So it's either music or narration, but you have to have good music if you're gonna do it. Narration is fine. I mean, that's perfectly acceptable. But I always lean towards music whenever I'm looking at the trailers because I want to feel like, my God, this is the game I need to get. I don't want to be talked to. I want to be like shown, here's everything, here's some music to make you feel pumped up for it. Again, that's the whole point of the trailer, get you pumped up for the game. So I feel like good music is the way to go. For me.
I understand that,
that's-
but I'm gonna give you an exception right now. That's the one of the first trailers for the first BioShock, where it's panning in toward Rapture, and Andrew Ryan's narrating with this great little intro to the whole situation that explains nothing, but it's still really cool. And then there's like a solid minute or two of first person. It's not gameplay, but it's first person rendered scene of Jack taking on a Big Daddy with a shotgun and the wrench, and he stabs himself with the thing and gets the bee swarm thing, and it's just graphic. And at the very end, he kills one Big Daddy and he's all satisfied. And just as he thinks he's safe, a giant drill comes through his back and goes through his stomach, and he dies.
Oh, I
And
saw
that entire scene had no music at all.
It has light orchestration, but doesn't have like a defined musical track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go with the negative opinion again and say that I don't like the BioShock franchise.
Oh, damn.
Just at all.
Why?
I don't see the appeal.
It's all about atmosphere and the feeling of abandonment. It's like Dead Space, but underwater and psychotic, not scary.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. I almost feel like it's been overdone.
Well, that was one of the first games that kind of went out there and did it, though.
Mhm.
At least in my
Not
eyes.
really. BioShock 1 was just like 4 or 5 years ago.
That game
Exactly.
came out in 2006.
7.
6.
Still, it was one of the first it was one of the first couple of major releases for the 360.
Mhm.
I'd say that's still pretty.
Maybe it was 2007. I don't know.
It's
I
like
guess.
a
I don't
AAA
know,
game
just-
it's a AAA that went above like horror and started becoming psychological and stuff. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Really psychological.
Yeah.
And it looks at the way that you just kind of blindly follow what the game tells you to do.
And
Exactly.
and Bioshock Infinite is going to they released that thing that was all gameplay about fuck, what's her name, Elizabeth, about how they gave her AI that when she first leaves where she's been imprisoned, you see how she reacts to stuff that she's never seen before, and they released like a 13-minute video of it today, of her walking around this beach and hearing music for the first time, and going and listening to that, and going and just watching a lifeguard do his business and all this sort of stuff. And it seems like they're going to explore a different side of a lack of isolation, and put the player in sort of the guiding hand instead of guiding the player in a weird sort of way.
Actually, another example of music in trailers is the one that's Beast by Nico Vega is in one of the trailers for Infinite. And that song rocks for that trailer. It's perfect. So Jesse, there's your point right there.
I was also going to say, I don't know if this is fan made or not, but there's a Mass Effect 2 trailer, I think, with Heart of Courage tied to it by Two Steps. Two Steps from Hell, by the way. I have almost all their fucking soundtracks. They are amazing to listen to. Their main thing is making trailer music. They are fucking amazing to listen to. I recommend going out and looking for them, because they make very good orchestral and very good, over the top almost. It's almost over the top, but it's not. But those guys, I actually have much of their stuff on my iTunes. I'm actually really, I'd be really excited to see them do another major trailer release, because I've seen them do everything from they did Twilight, I know that. They also did Star Trek. They did a bunch of random stuff like that, but their music is pretty good. And I know one of their songs, Heart of Courage, either it was fan made or it wasn't, but there was still a Mass Effect 2 kind of trailer with Heart of Courage tied to it, and that's one of their main songs, and that was pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of them through Mass Effect, so maybe I'll check them out.
Yeah, I think they were in Mass Effect. Like, they were officially in it for some things, but I know Two Steps from Hell was in Mass Effect at some point. I don't remember what it was for, though.
All right.
Well, I think we can officially sort of wrap this topic, put a nice little bow on it, and now we can get to a topic that can definitely spark conversation and can throw proverbial internet punches, and that is truly defining what makes a game. And with that,
God.
we have a lot of people have been arguing. You look at Journey and say, is that a game or is that not a game? You look at Heavy Rain, is that a game or is that not a game? Look at Dear Esther, is that a game or is that not a game? And the first two instances that I brought up, not Dear Esther, but Journey and
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain, and you could throw in Walking Dead as a very similar style of game. I would say those are definitely games, hence the reason I said a game when I talk about Walking Dead. But I would not call Dear Esther in any way, shape, or form a game. That is not a game. That has nothing that to me defines it as a game. It is a tour through an art gallery with
You
narration.
sound like you're putting it down.
I am. People say it's a euphoric experience, that it's a game you mostly played. It's not a fucking game. It's a tour through an art gallery with narration. If I want to do that, I can go to my local museum.
Well, what defines a game, though? It's an interactive video.
All right, I wanna say,
and that's what Dear
right
Esther
quick.
is.
Michael, I know you watch Campster, right?
Yes.
I do too.
Okay, so I got two people that watch Campster. I watched his video, and I've come to the solid conclusion that, based off the information I was given, and I had no previous opinion when I went to go watch it, so he may have made my opinion a little more biased, is that defining a game isn't something I really care about. It's whether I enjoy it.
That's what I was going to go with, too.
I don't care if it's a game or not. I just care if I enjoy it. And actually, I want to tell my story right quick. I was in GameStop at one point, or not me, it was my buddy. He went into GameStop. He was going to go buy Heavy Rain, and the guy at the counter actually said, "Hey, don't buy this because it's not a game."
Wow.
You should have smacked him with it.
Yeah.
Instantly.
And
across his dumb GameStop face. I'm assuming that it was GameStop.
It was.
It was.
Of course
He-
it was.
Yeah, he went in there and he was actually told, "Hey, no, don't buy this game because it's not a game; it's something else." And well, we already knew. I already knew what, or he already knew what Heavy Rain was. But for the most part, that kind of came as a shock to me a little bit because it's like I wouldn't imagine that anything like that. Like that's kind of more narration, sure, than game, but not every game has to be Call of Duty.
For me, what's really only surprising about that is just that the clerk would tell you something like that. That's just him kind of being a dick. Like he's taking a lot of liberties there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really think it's in it's. I think it's in the right to say, hey, you know, in terms of selling this, it's like, hey, this might not exactly be what you think it is, but saying, hey, it's not a game. I don't think that's necessarily right. Mostly because I think Heavy Rain is actually a game. There's a lot of interactivity with that. There's a lot more of a progression. There's a lot more of a change in environment. When I look at Dear Esther, you're walking around an island. You're playing Myst without without solving any puzzles. You're not doing anything. You are being narrated to in an admittedly a pretty environment. That's why I'm glad they're working with the people making the next Amnesia, that kind of made Dear Esther. But you're not fucking doing anything. You are walking and being told shit. If I wanted to
think
walk,
that you're way too upset about something that really doesn't impact your life in any way whatsoever.
I know it is, but when people go, oh, it's such a euphoric experience, something that must be experienced. I've already said before, don't tell me to experience Journey. Tell me to play Journey. I can accept that there's definitely gameplay in there. There's something that progresses. There's something that changes. There is nothing that changes in Dear Esther. You move. That is it.
To be fair, there are like different paths that you can take.
Oh, whoop, you fucking do that leads to a fucking dead end. So you turn around and go hear some dude talk to you more.
You need to like smoke a big bag of weed or something.
Right now, I want to get like a little asterisk on the podcast that says opinions expressed by individuals in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the whole.
I can definitely agree with that.
Or affiliates.
Definitely agree with that.
Do we have affiliates? Because we should get some, just so we can say that.
We should get some, you're right.
Reddit, question mark?
I don't know if you guys watched our video earlier, but I did try to get Apple to sponsor us.
Oh, that was just that was embarrassing. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Sorry. But can you understand why, as a person who wants to eventually make games, why I think it's fucking stupid that people say that Dear Esther is a game?
I can understand your frustration, actually.
Because people have subjective views of what a game is.
Yes, and
it's the same as defining art, man. I mean, there's really...
I understand his frustration right now. I can completely understand it 100%.
I don't.
I do.
Well,
I can understand
I'm in the
why.
middle.
Because if you look at Dear Esther and you look at Minecraft, they're both very simple games in their presentation. But in Minecraft, there's stuff you do, your stuff you dig, your stuff you build. There are gamey elements. Now, granted, Minecraft I think is more of an open toolbox with which you can use to create stuff. But with mods, you can create game-like elements to it. With Dear Esther, there's nothing to do with walking and listening. And there's a game I think it's called Proteus, maybe. That's
it's
the Minecraft approach to it, where it's even simpler as in terms of a visual style. And at that point, I'd be like, okay, maybe I would enjoy it more if I had VR and I could go around and explore. But insofar as just walking and seeing, animals hop around and seeing butterflies fly, what do you fucking do?
The four of us could, or the five of us with Robert, we could just devote an entire episode to just having a big argument about what makes a game. We really could, but right now we're an hour into this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say one thing. I understand where you're coming from, Michael, and to be honest, I almost would be saying the same thing if I haven't watched the Camster video, but for the most part, I can clearly say that I honestly think the reason that people try to define what a game is because, for the most part, they want to see the hardcore people and the casual people, like, they want to see them separate. That's how I kind of see it now. Is the hardcore people want to say, I enjoy playing video games without the Dear Esther's and the other games similar to that without the casual people seeing them saying, "Oh, so you like Dear Esther?" Then it's like, no, I don't like that game because it's not what I enjoy playing.
The thing is that I would probably almost want to agree with you, but Angry Birds is more of a game than Dear Esther is, and I can't stand Angry Birds because it's inhumanely simple, and it's a concept that's been done a million times before.
Why are we just hating on Dear Esther? It's perfectly fine, and it's a perfectly fine experience for anyone that wants to play that type of game.
It's a good experience, but calling it a game is where I get testy.
Okay, so you don't consider it a game. There are people that do. That's as far as this entire discussion has to go.
I understand that.
A game is entirely 100% subjective. What you consider a game is different from what other people consider a game.
Very
Just
true.
Remember the asterisk.
Yep. I can definitely agree with that.
I understand why you, would be upset, but this whole thing is being completely blown out of proportion.
And yet, people seem to think it's really important in the end.
Well, that's because Reddit likes to get their panties all up in a bunch about random shit, and then the whole hive mind takes over. But it's just... I don't know. Let people do whatever the fuck they want.
Let me have my opinion as I see it valid. Thank you very much.
I'm not saying that your opinion isn't valid. I don't know, this rant has gone on for a little too long.
Well, more than an hour and 2, I think, aren't we? Or
No,
Nope,
we're at
54.
52, about.
Yeah, something like that. Let's keep the
I
dramatic
don't know.
pause going so we can keep.
Is
it
there
going.
anything else that you guys want to talk about?
I had 3 topics, and we covered all of them.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I guess we're done then. Michael, go with the outro.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on a very explosive towards the end adventure into gaming as a medium and as something to be expressed and enjoyed passionately and personally. Like Jack said, we have an asterisk on this podcast. Not all opinions expressed are indicative of all of our personal opinions. But thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy your gaming week. Stay up late, enjoy games, and join us for the next Midnight Launch podcast. Goodbye.
Do I actually have to sing Stille
Yes.
Nacht?
Yes, you do.
Alright. Let me...
You better put this in too.
God damn it.
Stick around, everybody.
Yeah, we're not done just yet. Hold on. That was a good outro, though. I liked it. I'm not doing this. This is ridiculous.
I will try to get you drunk through the internet, just drunk enough to do it. Like next week, I'll try to mail you something first.
It's okay. No pressure, Tim. No pressure.
No, there's pressure.
I'm not doing this. We're totally not keeping this in.
It's under pressure.
Oh, come on, we can keep this part.
Maybe another time we'll all get really drunk on our own and we'll have a drunk podcast and I'll do it then.